An interim replacement for Chancellor Gerhardt has been named. Learn more about the man who found himself in this position before.
This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is not a solely LGBTQ issue. This is a human rights issue.
Plus, the latest on the Religious Freedom Bill. Find out which celebrity is praising Governor Hutchinson.
And a unique play is being put on by university students. Find out more on UATV News. It starts right now. Welcome to this Thursday night edition of UATV News. I'm Miley.
And I'm Haley Noga. We're glad to have you with us.
The University of Arkansas named an interim chancellor today to replace the retiring Chancellor Gerhardt.
We have team coverage on the story, starting with Phil Gore, who's live on campus. Phil, what are the latest details on the appointment?
David Gerhardt announced earlier this year that he is retiring from his position as chancellor on July 31st, and President Donald Bobbitt has been in the process of finding somebody to replace him. And today, the university announced that Dan Ferriter is set to become the interim chancellor. Previously, he was a full-time chancellor from 1986 to 1997, and he has served roles at the university for nearly 32 years. He's currently serving as the vice president of learning technologies for U of A Systems, and before Bobbitt reached out to him earlier last month, he was planning on retiring March 31st. And when I spoke to Ferriter earlier today, he talked about the emotions he was feeling to get back in the office.
It's just another chance to be able to work with the faculty and the students on this campus. And you're one of them. It's an incredible group of people. This is a good university.
Chancellor Gerhardt's going to do all that he can to include him in the process right now so that when Ferriter gets into the office, it's a seamless transition. He's planning on including him in the staff meetings that are going on before the semester ends and in through the summer. Chancellor Ferriter said he plans to work from August 1st, right after Chancellor Gerhardt is done, till the end of December. Reporting for UATV, I'm Phil Gore.
Thanks, Phil.
And continuing our team coverage, we head to Jackson Braswell, live in the studio with more on how our new interim chancellor is all too familiar with the U of A.
Once again.
What?
In my experience with him, I've known him as chancellor here on campus. I've worked with him when he was in that position, and I always found him to be extremely reliable and knowledgeable and just a really fine person to work with.
Well, throughout our conversation, Dr. Watkins talked to me about the fact that if she felt that if Ferriter got the job tomorrow and started tomorrow, that the U of A would be able to pick up right where it left off with Chancellor Gerhardt. And a lot of times when you think about change and hiring an interim leader, the biggest concern is having stability and productivity within your departments. But that is why the U of A hired Dr. Ferriter, because they know that he will be able to keep that stability and that productivity here at the University of Arkansas. Back to the anchors at the desk.
The U of A is still searching for a full-time chancellor to replace David Gerhardt after Ferriter's interim appointment is over.
After Governor Asa Hutchinson said he would not sign the controversial Religious Freedom Bill as it is, the Arkansas House is getting to work amending the bill. This is amid protests from all people across the state.
This is not a Democrat or Republican issue. This is not a solely LGBTQ issue. This is a human rights issue.
State House Committee approved an updated bill that is similar to an older one signed into law nearly 20 years ago. Hutchinson's actions are getting attention across the state and across the country as well. Talk show host Ellen DeGeneres said that she is now a fan of the governor after rejecting the bill.
And spring weather might have been here all week, but will that continue throughout Easter weekend?
Let's check in with Jordan Betts live from the Harmon Parking Garage with more on your weather.
Hey guys, what a beautiful night here in Northwest Arkansas, but I got some bad news. It's not going to last very long, and the heat you expected today is also going to go away. Let's have a look at what happened today here in Northwest Arkansas. Today's high was 75 degrees and tonight's low is 61. Pretty partly cloudy kind of day, not too bad. For the rest of the days, you're going to be seeing some pretty not nice temperatures. 72 degrees your temperatures right now, though. Your daytime tracker on April 3rd, you will wake up, you will be having some thunderstorms come your way with 62 degrees. Your sunrise right at 7 a.m. You get to noon. We're going to have a little bit of a break in between the thunderstorms that are coming from North Texas, and you'll be seeing some sunshine by the end of the day. But I will tell you your temperatures here, if you're staying here, not going home for Easter, your temperatures will be dropping, but I'll have more on that. On the top of Fayetteville, back to you guys.
With the weather warming up, many are taking to Fayetteville's trails, many of which intersect with major roads. UATV's Caitlin Trusty gives us some safety tips for trail users and drivers.
I'm in an ambulance, I got hit by a car, I'm on my way to the hospital.
These are the words Kayla Eifert's parents heard right after she was hit by a car on a biking trail.
I was just going for a run. All of a sudden I got hit from behind and I was knocked forward and I didn't know what had hit me.
Eifert was jogging on Skull Creek Trail near Gregg Street in Fayetteville. She had her headphones in and didn't hear when a drunk driver drove right onto the trail.
So I scoot out from underneath her car and I see my foot, and my tennis shoe was basically just fell off my foot. And so basically it just took all the skin off the top of my foot.
UAPD's Captain Gary Crane says that although these types of accidents are rare, they can happen to anyone. So it's important for trail users and drivers to take safety precautions.
All drivers have to be aware and careful and be ready to stop. And all pedestrians have to be aware and be ready to stop in case the vehicle does not.
He says one of the main distractions for runners like Eifert are headphones.
One idea is, even if a person is listening to the music, at least have it down low enough that they can still hear if someone is approaching from behind.
A lesson Eifert learned the hard way.
I hate to say that I got lucky in this situation because I definitely didn't in the scheme of things, but it could have been a lot worse.
And even though she's wearing a boot and crutches now, she says this accident won't stop her from doing what she loves in the future.
I don't really want to let fear hold me back from still doing the things that I love, like running.
Captain Crane says whether you are using the trails or driving, the most important tip is to be aware of your surroundings.
With the threat of severe weather this weekend, Fayetteville's First Thursday has been canceled. The event planned to have local musicians, artists, and crafts with booths to sell their creations. There's no planned date to make up the event. But the weather hasn't affected the status of the Fayetteville Farmers Market, which will be open for business this weekend. The 2015 season is still planning on launching this Saturday and will be open from 7 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon.
Next week, we'll kick off the Lemke Journalism Department annual J Days. There will be many events students can attend, including a panel on diversity and communicating for a cause. The main event will be the Roy Reed Lecture featuring former Washington Post reporter Bob Woodward. He is known as one of the men who broke the Watergate scandal involving former President Richard Nixon.
The University of Arkansas Transit has increased the number of buses running throughout the day because they know how many students rely on them to get to class, but how a new mobile app could save students time and frustration of waiting for a bus. UATV's Kelly Rolliard is live with more.
That's right, Haley. It's at bus stops just like this one that students spend a lot of time waiting at just to get to campus. Some students said they have even spent up to 30 minutes just waiting for the bus to get to them, and then they were late for class. But students can now download the app UARK Mobile and follow the bus routes and track where each bus is. Just click on Campus Map and click whichever bus route you are looking to ride. It will tell you just where the bus is at that time, so you can plan ahead and not be waiting long at the bus stop. The app is free on all smartphones. Just type in University of Arkansas in the search area. Reporting for UATV, I'm Kelly Rolliard.
If you don't have a smartphone, the bus tracker is still available on the UARK mobile website.
The University of Arkansas will host a panel to discuss medical marijuana next week. The College of Education and Health Professions will host the discussion that will be focused on the effects of using the drug. The College of Education and Health Professions will also be adding some new courses this summer to help students train as play therapists. The class will teach graduate students how to develop children's social skills through expressive arts.
When we come back, why several people from Kenya have been killed or left injured for their faith.
It is a moment for everyone throughout the country to be vigilant as we confront and defeat our enemies.
And claims made about a recent plane crash have caused an eruption of controversy. Is there a video of the final seconds? Find out after the break.
President Obama has made strides in negotiations, and an attack in Kenya has left many people dead.
With the details on those stories and more, let's head over to Bridgman Perkins.
Iran has reached a basis for an agreement with international leaders concerning its nuclear program. Here you can see the European Union's foreign policy chief and Iran's foreign minister announcing the news in Switzerland today. As a part of the deal, Iran has agreed to reduce its stockpile of low-enriched uranium for 15 years.
I am convinced that if this framework leads to a final comprehensive deal, it will make our country, our allies, and our world safer.
The European Union agreed to terminate all nuclear-related economic and financial sanctions against Iran. The U.S. would do the same once Iran holds up its end of the deal. The president of Kenya has called police recruits to report to a college where Islamist militants have attacked the campus. The militants stormed in early this morning and, according to a witness, separated out the Muslims and opened fire on the non-Muslims. At least 15 people have been killed, dozens have been taken to hospitals, and hundreds are unaccounted for. The Somalia-based Al-Shabaab group has claimed responsibility.
I also take this opportunity to urge Kenyans to stay calm as we resolve this matter and to provide the authorities with any information they may have in connection with any threats to our security. This is a moment for everyone throughout the country to be vigilant as we confront and defeat our enemies.
This is all happening in the town of Garissa, about 200 kilometers from the border with Somalia. The government is saying that the militants are cornered in one of the buildings on campus. President Kenyatta addressed the nation and told his country to be vigilant. The prosecution has rested on the Aaron Hernandez murder trial in Massachusetts. The former New England Patriots player is accused of killing Odin Lloyd in June 2013. Medical examiner Dr. William Zane was the last of more than 100 witnesses called by the prosecution since testimony began in January. Zane explained in detail the lethal gunshot injuries Lloyd sustained the night he died. Lloyd's mother left the courtroom ahead of the doctor's testimony. Hernandez has pleaded not guilty to the murder charge. A French prosecutor is denying reports that there is cell phone video showing the final seconds of the Germanwings plane crash. 2 European publications claim to have seen such video, but prosecutor Robin says no such video has turned up in the investigation.
Mobile phones are in extremely damaged condition, as I said earlier, and I ensured that they were looked into, but I'm a bit skeptical in view of their condition that it will be of much use.
Robin also expressed doubt that someone is leaking information on the crash probed to the media. Robin has urged anyone who may have seen such video to hand it over to investigators immediately. Robert Durst was in New Orleans court today. The real estate heir and murder suspect attended a preliminary hearing on felony firearm charges in Louisiana. The hearing will determine if Durst can be held in Louisiana. Durst is accused of killing California Susan Berman back in 2000. He was arrested last month, shortly before the final chapter of an HBO documentary series about him aired on the show. Since then, on the show, he's saying live on a microphone that he killed them all.
After the break, find out more about a student leaving her mark in the theater department.
And one hospital is getting some younger fans ready for the Final Four. How one maternity ward is seeing nothing but blue.
Hey guys, well, I am on the top of the Harmon parking garage, not on the top of Fayetteville, but from this view, it does seem like we're on the top of Fayetteville. Let's have a look at your current conditions right now throughout the entire United States. 81 up here near Arkansas. I'm gonna have to disagree and say it's almost near the 70-degree area. Get towards North Texas, though, they're gonna be seeing the 83-degree range near central Arkansas. 80 degrees, so pretty great temperatures. But like I said, there will be a cold front that will be coming through here. So we're seeing some pretty cold temperatures lately. Your Doppler radar, not much going on in the Arkansas area, but you can't see right there, but there will be a North Texas system that will be shifting through Arkansas into our area. Now you're probably going to wondering, when do I need to bring that jacket out? Well, Friday morning is when you're going to need to. The Kansas City area, you'll definitely be seeing all of that rain be coming in. And as of tonight, you'll definitely need to watching your TV set. Stay tuned to UATV. Could be possible we're going to be sticking to the tornado warnings possibly, and all throughout the night. Friday, though, we'll be sending more of that rain into the Nashville area, up along the Washington, D.C. coast. Saturday, though, looks like a pretty clear day, up into the 60-degree area. So if you're outside, you will need a little bit of a light jacket. On Sunday, Easter Sunday, if you are going to be out in the North Texas area, believe me, you will need an umbrella and a jacket. It'll be raining almost all day. In most of Arkansas, it'll be rainy. Right now, it feels about 75 degrees in the Russellville area, almost 80 near Little Rock, about the whole entire South Arkansas, where it usually is hotter in the south, almost 80 degrees in Mount Home, 72. But like I said, colder temperatures, it's usually like this when a cold front comes through. But I'll be sticking to you. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I'll be keeping more of an update what's happening here in Northwest Arkansas. That's what's happening outside your front door. I'm Jordan Betts. Back to you guys.
The Final Four will take place this weekend, and some of Kentucky's youngest fans will be ready. The University of Kentucky Hospital has been giving the newborn Kentucky Wildcat onesies, and they say it has been a hit with the parents.
Do something special for the babies. Make sure that they got going as Cats fans.
Oh, I think she's a perfect good luck charm.
Kentucky will play Wisconsin on Saturday for a spot in the national championship game.
All right, about that unique theater production that's being put on by university students, we're going to take a closer look at a student from a diverse background making her mark on the theater department.
Found home in theater, and then I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
And you want the time you work? Yes.
I am Khulud Sawaf from Damascus, Syria, and I am an MFA director. This is my third year in grad school. I study theater directing. Currently, I'm directing a show called The Chairs by Eugene Ionesco. It's a French play, and it's an absurd play. It was written in 1951. Characters of The Chairs, the old man and the old woman, are ancient, metaphorically, young in their soul. They're a couple who have been married for forever, for 75 years. Their world collapsed, and they around them, and they have only each other, and they want to have a big giant party, and they want to have a ton of fun, and that's what the show deals with. I was getting my bachelor degree at the American University of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates when I met a theater professor there who came from Washington, D.C. I worked with him a couple of times as an assistant director, and then he talked to me saying that you should consider going to grad school in directing. That professor happened to know the head of acting here, Amy Herzberg, and it was a small world, and I interviewed through Skype, and that's where I landed with my suitcases and said, hi, I'm from Syria, can I study theater here?
The show opens on April 2nd and closes on April 5th. The show starts at 7:30 p.m. and tickets are available online or at the door. One Razorback basketball player is transferring. Find out who next.
And an Arkansas softball player has been selected in the fast pitch softball draft. That and more, UATV Sports is next.
Arkansas freshman guard Nick Babb has announced that he is transferring after the spring semester. Babb averaged 1 point, 1 rebound, and half an assist in 4.8 minutes per game in 26 games. Babb was expected to compete for the minutes left behind by Rashad Madden. Babb chose Arkansas over offers from Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and Wichita State, among others. It is unclear where Babb is planning to transfer at this time. The 14-21 Arkansas Razorback softball team will play host to 26-10 Mississippi State at Bogle Field April 4th through the 6th. 20 of Arkansas's 28 players are underclassmen and are led by Tori Cooper, who is hitting .296, Lauren Crisco, who is hitting .300 in the last 3 games, and Madison Yannetti, who leads the team with a .385 batting average in SEC play. Arkansas's game will be televised on SEC Plus on April 4th and the SEC Network on April 5th and 6th. Arkansas senior Devin Wallace continues to add to her accomplishments on the softball field. Wallace was selected 21st overall in the nation fastball softball draft, becoming the first Arkansas player ever drafted. Wallace owns Arkansas career records in home runs, runs batted in, walks, and is currently the leader in batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. Wallace is also currently 8th in hits, 40 behind the leader, with several games left to play. The 14-14 Arkansas Razorback baseball team hits the road to play 18-11 Auburn this weekend. Arkansas is looking for their 2nd consecutive SEC victory after beating Ole Miss 2 out of 3. Arkansas is 4th in the SEC in home runs, led by Andrew Benintendi with 7. Arkansas pitching has improved the last 5 games with a 2.40 ERA and 47 strikeouts. The bullpen has been led by Zach Jackson, who threw 4 2/3 scoreless innings versus Ole Miss, and is 2nd in the SEC with a 1.33 ERA. Dave Van Horn is closing in on 500 wins. He is currently at 498. Friday's game will be on the SEC Network, and Saturday and Sunday will be broadcast on SEC+. The number 6 Arkansas outdoor men's track team will travel to Stanford Friday and Saturday to compete in the Stanford Invitational, which will include over 100 schools. Arkansas will be going against several top 25 teams, including Texas A&M, Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma State, Stanford, Washington, and Michigan. Arkansas competitors will include 2-time indoor champ Omar McLeod and 2-time national champion pole vaulter Andrew Irwin. Also competing in the distance category is indoor All-Americans Kamoy Campbell and Stanley Kabeni. The next outdoor meet at Arkansas McConnell Field will be April 10th and 11th. Coming up after the break, we'll have a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Stay tuned. UATV will be right back.
Well, I got some cold temperatures coming your way tomorrow, though. You're going to be having a high of 50 degrees, so make sure to have those jackets on when you go out tomorrow night. Your Easter Sunday is what everyone's wanting to know what their forecast will be like. Well, they're going to have to turn into my Twitter to find out.
All right, good stuff, Jordan. Well, I hope that, the weather stays nice for the weekend. And that's going to do it for this Thursday night edition of UATV. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Haley Noga.
And I'm Miley. Thanks for watching and enjoy your weekend.